If you're wondering what today's adventure is going to be, it's pretty obvious by the building behind me here. We are going to be hitting up Goodwills today. All right, you guys, let's get going on our Goodwill tour today. So for the last 8 years, I cannot believe I've been selling vintage full time for 8 years now, but I have a routine weekly Goodwill run, and I'm so glad that I get to take you guys along with me now on those adventures. I typically try to hit anywhere from 3 to 5 Goodwills in a single day, and it just depends on what I find and how far apart the Goodwills are as to how many I actually end up hitting. So today's adventure, I'm going to be taking you to 2 Goodwills with me and then 3 Goodwills with my husband along with Salvation Army. Okay, when I first spotted this, I wasn't quite sure what it was. I thought it was just a cool sculptural piece of pottery. And then I got closer and realized it was a tabletop water feature. These are great because you can have them indoors or outdoors. The only problem is it's missing the pump. So I'm going to go ahead and chance that I can find a replacement pump on Amazon and get it for the $10. Spring is coming. I can feel it in the air every time I go on a walk, and that means it's time to start stocking up my online shop with different kinds of vases. This one is silver plated and it is only $4.99, and you know what I always say, it's all about that shape. This one is a great handmade piece of studio pottery. I love when they have a design on the inside of the bowl too. It's not very often that I come across these, so I definitely wanted to grab this one. Once you've been thrifting for a while, you will start to learn what different wood types are, and now teak is really easy for me to spot, and it never hurts when it still has the sticker on the back. Here is how quickly things can take a good turn when you are out thrifting. If you read my last blog post, you know why I'm so excited right now. I originally had bought a 1960s Afghan coat of my dreams, but when I got it, it was too snug in my shoulders. This one fits me perfectly. It's $12.99 and it is from the 90s, not the 70s, when they redid the 70s, and I am so excited. You cannot even see my giant smile right now. It is so funny how far away you can spot something in a Goodwill if you've got the thrift radar. I spotted these pants from 4 aisles away. You guys just heard me say in my relics video last week that I was really into 1970s patchwork. And this is brown on brown on brown. So my soul is very happy today and I'm very excited about this. This is the 1990s version of the 70s that became really popular after that 70s show came out. So this is a fabulous start to the day, and I've got a whole bunch of goodies here in the front seat, and I even have some amazing finds that I found with my husband yesterday. This is the moment that my husband is trying to convince me that this is not a cool plate like I'm telling him. But guess what? I think it is fabulous and I got it anyways. I also really loved that vase up there, but it had a large crack in it. I was really sad because it had really pretty colors. So if you guys think that plate was hideous, go ahead and comment below. My husband will look at the comments and be very, very happy to see that. I was on the fence about this bird sculpture. It felt like it was pretty new. I really loved the colors, but I did flip it over and it had initials carved in the bottom. So I went ahead and got it because it felt like it's definitely a handmade piece. Brass, Moroccan, vintage patina, perfection. Yes, please. I'm trying to figure out how this one actually sets onto the other piece, and I didn't realize until I got it in the car that that bottom part was the candle holder and you set it on top. Goodwill is my favorite place for candles. You can get such great deals on candles. These ones kind of caught my attention because of the color, and I liked the swirls. You'll have to let me know what you think once I show you later how I staged them at home. I've been having the best luck with still life paintings lately. This one is a watercolor and it is signed down there on the bottom. I haven't been able to find anything online on the artist, but it's got a beautiful color palette to it. My husband spotted this one for me. He knew I was kind of looking for some 90s plaid inspiration to include into my wardrobe. This one looks handmade and it's actually really comfortable. It's not that thick wool that you see a lot of blazers made out of. These brass birds are so cool when you have them in a trio. Sadly, I looked all over the store and I only found this one, but because it did still have the original hanger on the back and it was a good price, I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Maybe someone wants to add a single one to their collection that they already have. I'm telling you, I got the thrift radar from that. 4 feet away, I spotted that these were Israeli candle holders. Look how beautiful they are. Do you guys think those are olives and olive branches? Please let me know in the comments below. I did find some online that were similar, but none exactly the same. And I can't believe I found a pair. Now these were interesting. I originally walked by a larger vase and decided to pass on it. I didn't pick it up, and once I saw the picture and I liked the shape on it, I felt how heavy it was, and I decided that these were actually pretty well made copper pieces. I then found these adorable little canisters, a set of 2 of them. There were no markings on the bottom, so I'm not sure who they are made by. I feel like if they were high quality, they would be signed, but they were beautiful nonetheless, and I think it's kind of fun when you find a whole set of things. Do you love how I just told you a few episodes back that I don't pick up coffee mugs anymore? And it seems like I'm picking up a lot of coffee mugs, but these ones were too cute to pass up. I really love that neutral black and white design on them. My husband also found a vintage Levi's shirt for himself. It's always fun shopping with him. All right, let's talk about the hashtags. These are so fun to use as shelves on the wall with your little trinket items, but I've also seen people make macrame ropes to hang them from, and then they put a large pot in the center. So I'm gonna sell them just as is individually, but I definitely hope someone makes something really cool with them. Now we're gonna hit the Salvation Army that just opened back up, and I spotted these chairs as soon as we walked in the door. I used to sell these a lot at the Portland Flea Market and even on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. I could usually sell them for around $100. They're typically $200 brand new. Oh, distracted by a rug. This is a wool rug, and I'm getting really excited right now. One thing I always recommend when you are looking at rugs is if there is room in the store, lay it out so you can see the whole thing, because a lot of times the stains are in the center, it seems like. Okay, so I did pass on the egg chairs. I'm moving right now. I don't need to be flipping furniture. I did send a picture to my sister because I'm going to be helping her do a bedroom makeover and also a back porch makeover, but we agreed that they just weren't quite the style that she was going for her back porch. So I left them there for someone else, and I'm sure someone's going to be really excited when they find them. When I spotted this purse, I thought this might look really cute with the embroidered pants. Still crossing my fingers, hoping they fit. Stay tuned to see how it looks all put together. This one reminded me of a top that I had back in the 90s. I remember I used to wear it with this sunflower skirt, so I thought it was cute. It's not anything that I would wear right now, and it wouldn't fit me, but I thought it would be really cute to add to my vintage shop. Okay, my audio didn't work very well in the store, but you have to hear this because it's just too cute.
I left that for you so you could genuinely be surprised.
You did? That was very sweet. It's really good.
Risk somebody else possibly getting it.
Just for me, so I could capture it on camera.
Just so I didn't ruin it for you.
You're such a thoughtful guy.
It's probably cheaper, huh?
It's fantastic.
You love these things.
I
It
do
has
love
the
these
ladle
things.
and everything.
It's so hard to find it with a ladle. And I'm really excited because soup season's coming up. Might be 6 months away, but it's on its way. So glad that we decided to stop by Salvation Army. Wait till you see this rug in my house. Now we're headed to the last Goodwill, and I had been through almost the entire store thinking that there was nothing for me when I ended up spotting this in the dish aisle. These are beautiful handmade artist signed pieces, and I think they ranged anywhere from $1.99 to $3.99, so I got them all. I think my favorite out of all of the pieces would have to be the 2 goblets. I sure wish there would have been a larger set, but I can't complain. I'm still happy that there were at least 2 of them to go together as a pair. I spotted this suede backpack, and I thought this one would be really great because it's so lightweight and thin that I feel like it could be used as an actual purse, just kind of over your shoulder. I have a leather one, but it's so big and bulky, I feel like you can't use it as a purse. I'm just gonna put this right here so I can keep looking at it because it's getting me so excited. I picked this up for $3.99. It's got this beautiful design here on the inside, and then also it has this kind of swirly abstract design here on the outside. Now these are perfect for mixing and matching pottery. If you want to have that eclectic vintage look, get a lot of kind of neutral colored things that have interesting designs on them, but they're not too overpowering, so they go really well when you mix them together. I was really hoping to find the dome that probably originally went with this beautiful teak tray. This one is made in Thailand and it was only $3.99. You know what, I'm not even that sad about it not having the dome, because to be honest, I think it'd be really cute to just set your cheese up here, have your crackers go all the way around. And yes, the dome would have been nice for serving, especially if it was going to be set out for a few hours, but I still think it's a beautiful tray and it was only $3.99. Whenever you find a piece in a thrift store that looks like it originally had two parts, most often they price them separately and they just got separated. So this one could have ended up in the wood aisle and the glass dome could have ended up with the dishes, and somebody might have already bought it. These pants may be a total miss and I could have made a huge mistake getting them. Thankfully, our Goodwills have a return policy for 14 days as long as you leave the tags on them. They just said size large, so I don't know what that really means. They look like they might fit, they might be too big, but I have been looking at getting patches off of Etsy and eBay to kind of deck out my own pair of jeans, and the patches are not cheap. It would have probably cost me maybe $40 to $50 to get this many floral patches, plus you would have had to apply them. And what's great about this pair is that these are actually stitched on, probably done in the factory where they were made. So I don't think someone DIY'd this, but I'm not positive. They could be really cute. They could totally also be really not cute. I can't wait to find out. This is a silver plated fluted vase from India. It was $4.99, and I think that these simple minimal designs look so beautiful with flowers just overflowing out of the top. And it's almost spring. Our farmers market just opened up this past weekend. I didn't have a chance to go yet, but I'm hoping that I can make it soon and get some beautiful fresh cut flowers. I'm really excited about this piece. This appears to be some type of a Japanese water feature, and I do a lot of meditation and I listen to my Zen garden music and have kind of my quiet time by myself on my back porch, and I thought that this would be really peaceful to have that little sound of the water trickling down. This will hold me over until we end up in our dream home where we can actually put a real water feature. The only problem is that it didn't come with the original pump, so I'm hoping that that's something that I can track down online and it won't be too terribly expensive. My gut feeling is that this is a really well made piece. It's got a Japanese stamp here on the bottom and it was only $9.99. So I feel like as long as the pump for it is under maybe $10 to $15, I got a really good deal on this. I'm gonna look it up online when I get home and see if I can find any comps. You can never have too much peacefulness in your life. That is something that I've definitely learned. So one of the things that I love about thrifting and shopping for vintage is that it brings back really good memories. Sometimes bad memories, but usually good ones. And when I spotted these, I knew immediately that they were incense holders, and I'm pretty sure that you would put the cone or the incense underneath and then you would just set this on top, and then all of the smoke comes out throughout the holes. And the reason I knew what these were was because they reminded me of something that I got when I was a kid. My parents would take us to the Saturday market in Portland, and there was a long skinny one of these that laid down that had kind of an opening almost like a chest, and I had my allowance money and I really wanted to buy it. I think I was into carved wood and smelly goods all the way back in my early childhood. And I think my mom was a little hesitant to let me spend my allowance on an incense burner, but she did let me do it. And I remember just sitting there and lighting my incense and smelling them and thinking it was so calming, and I loved it. Once again, a sweet pair of vintage leather boots that don't fit me. They are too small, but these are by Mark McNary, and I looked these up online and it looks like the vintage ones sell for a couple $100s. So I felt like this was a good investment. I'm trying to add more vintage clothing to my online shop, and I'm just going to get some new laces, pop those in, and I might do a little bit of leather polish on them just to shine them up just a tad. These are great because they look like vintage Doc Martens, but they're not. So I actually spotted this one first and I decided to pass on it. But then when I found the picture in a different aisle, I really liked the shape on it. And once I picked it up and felt how heavy the copper was, I decided to go ahead and go back and grab this one too. And then I found a set of 2 of these lidded ones. These are cute little containers. And I think that these are newer. My guess would probably be the 80s or 90s, but they are really well made. So I decided to pick them up because I think copper is such a beautiful classic material to have in your home, and the green is a fun pop of color. It is really hard to find handmade studio pottery in a full set, so I feel like this was a really good find. When I first spotted them, I really thought that they were by the Pacific Northwest potter David Enna. His pieces are very collectible and valuable, and he used a lot of these very earthy colors, including this kind of dark red terracotta color. And these are not by him. They're actually signed with a fish and an XOXO, which I thought was cute. They're from the 1970s, and to find such a large set of these without any cracks or chips is pretty amazing. It's hard to believe, but 1970 was 50 years ago. So these bowls are roughly around 45 to 50 years old. So when you think about it like that, it is pretty amazing that so many of them lasted. Someone took really good care of these. I used to sell all of my vintage clothing at the Portland flea market, but I've been slowly adding more and more clothing to my online shop. So keep an eye out for these pieces. I get almost all of my candles from Goodwill. It is such a savings compared to buying them new. These ones were Mitchell's beeswax candles since 1982, and I feel like they had a really fun and funky design and that they would add a nice splash of color. So I'm going to put these in a couple of my candle holders at home and see how they look. Ew. Ugh, gross. Okay, there are serious downsides to buying vintage. I'm still always gonna do it. I never buy new, but getting gross things on your hands, it's kind of part of the game. All right, these soup pots are so hard to find with the original ladle. I was so excited to find this. This was $10, and I can't even imagine the amount of time it took someone to make this beautiful pot. It's got the lid down here in my lap. Now, the only hard part is that I'm always talking about upgrading things when you find something that you love more than the one you already had. But the problem is I only need one soup pot and I can't decide which one I like better. Soups are one of my favorite things to make at home. I love spicy soup. I love chili soups. I pretty much love all soups. My favorite is a Tom Kha soup, and I'm having a really hard time deciding which one of these to keep. I definitely do not need both of them, and they're very large, so they do take up some space on my shelving, so it just doesn't make sense to keep them both. But I really love the one on the left that I already had, and when I got these home, I don't know what to do. This one's cool because it has the original ladle, but the other one, I found a vintage ladle to go with it, and then you can't even tell that it's not original. I'm so torn. My husband likes them both. I don't know what to do, you guys. If you guys were me, which one would you keep? Now, this is a very exciting find. I have never found one of these that is a candle holder. I have a handful of these vintage brass Moroccan lamps that are swag lamps that I'm planning to put into my new studio film space. And I think I need to keep this because this could go on top of my credenza, and I feel like it's gonna tie in the swag lamps just beautifully. I can't wait to get this home and get a candle in it and light it up and just see how magical it is. We are making progress. We only have one more bag to go through. I picked up this one at Salvation Army for $6. I thought that this would be really fun this spring for a splash of color. I wear a lot of neutrals, but I'm trying to incorporate more color, and I have found one of the easiest ways to do that is with your accessories. Aren't these handles fun? They're big enough you can actually put your whole arm through it too. I've been having such great luck finding these mid-century Israeli candle holders. I think that these are so beautiful. I'm pretty sure that this is an olive tree with olives on it. I've seen some other olive tree branch ones online, so I'm pretty confident that's what this is. What do you guys think? And they were only $2.99. Now, these are something that are so special, and I feel like you can incorporate this into almost any kind of decor. That's one of the reasons that I love candle holders so much, because they're easy to store and easy to swap out for a completely different look. If you are on a tight budget and you just want something to make your space feel a little cozier and more magical, go to Goodwill, get a couple candle holders and candles, and light them up, and it will transform your space. I don't think that these ones are that vintage, but I really love the black and white design on them, and everybody needs to have a special coffee or tea mug. It makes the ritual of your morning coffee so much more special. I have 3 favorite mugs, so I'm going to show you guys those. Okay, my hands down favorite coffee mug I've ever owned in my life is this vintage Thomas Toft one from Denmark in the 1960s. I love it. It's Egyptian looking. It's my favorite. But I also love this one that a sweet subscriber gifted me that says Laura, and it's brown. And then I also have my #1 sister mug. Kind of special. If you are also a vintage reseller, something that always sells really well for me are pitchers. And I think it's because they double as a vase with flowers in them, but they can also be used for a very practical reason to put your lemonade, your milk, your coffee, your tea. The thing that I actually use them for the most is to put my wooden spoons in. I think that this dude is really cool. I know some people are probably like, what on earth were you thinking? But I promise you, sometimes the weirder the item, the faster it sells because it's more unique. And I think this dude is handsome. This one was really great because I've been looking for more plaid, and it appears to be handmade. Someone hand stitched all of that. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? They did a really good job. And this one will be great for spring because it's not wool. It's a very lightweight material. And I think this will be really cute with just a white t-shirt and jeans rolled up with some Doc Marten boots. I'm feeling it. I also really like that it has the classic 1970s pointed collar. We need to have a moment for my rug. So I was not even going to go to Salvation Army yesterday with my husband, Jesse. And at the last minute, he was like, you know what? We haven't been there in a long time. Let's pop in and see what they have. I didn't even know I needed a rug for in my dining room until I found the perfect one. It seriously could not fit that table better. And we are moving here in a couple weeks. And I really wanted to keep the rugs in my living room space neutral because as you will see in this picture right here, I'm going to have the most amazing stairs ever. But that's a lot of pattern and color, and I don't want anything to compete with it. This week's Goodwill runs, not bad. Super excited about this coat, super excited about my rug. And now I'm going to give you guys a little mini tour of our rental home. Okay, the first room I'm going to be showing you today, I'm just doing upstairs, is my future shipping room. Now I'm really excited about this space. It's bigger than it even looks here in the video. And I'm excited because I currently use a 1-car garage for all of my vintage storage and where I ship. And my hands get so cold in the winter months and I get hot in the summer. Okay, now we're going to go down the hallway. This is also upstairs. This is the upstairs bathroom. Nothing super exciting, but it's a great size and functional. And then we are going to go back out into the hallway and I will show you the laundry room. Now, I'm actually not going to be doing any decorating or I guess you could say updates to any of those spaces. I'm going to leave them as is because we are just renting and it feels like it would be a waste of money and time. This one is going to be my husband's office. And right now he's currently in our diner nook. So he's very excited to have a nice window, a closet for his extra, clothes and music records. And then there's also this little storage area here, and I'm sure we will find something to put in there. And now let's go to the room that I'm the absolute most excited about. This is going to be my filming studio, so I won't just be doing car hauls anymore. Woohoo! So this wall right here gets lots of natural light. And I'm going to be doing a removable wallpaper on that entire space. And that is where my hand chairs are going to go and some awesome plants. Stay tuned to my episode that's coming out this weekend. And you guys are going to get to see the couple options of wallpaper I'm choosing between. And then this closet over here on the left, I'm going to be using probably for my coats. This wall right here is going to be where I put my desk, and that's where I'll sit to do my video editing and all of my listings. And then, yeah, this will be where I put my coats because the downstairs master doesn't have room. Guess what video is coming out this weekend? I'm taking you guys on a road trip to Tacoma, Washington to pick up my hand chairs. And we couldn't go to Tacoma without hitting up Antique Row, which is 2 city blocks full of antique stores. So keep an eye out for that video this weekend, and I will see you guys in a new adventure soon.